Hello and welcome again. I am the Gentleman in Black, and here today, what do I have? Well, I have something a little bit special actually. Just going to move that slightly further back. Today, I'm going to be talking about drafting, and you're going to go, well, gent, what the hell is drafting? What the hell is drafting? Well, as you can see, it involves 3 packs of the latest set. If it's the second part of a set, the second part of a block, sorry, it will most likely be 2 and 1, depending on ratios. So the easiest way for me to describe how to draft is to show you. So I imagine that if you've been in any game store anywhere that does events, you'll probably have heard someone talking about draft. Draft is an insane concept. If you've never done it before, it just seems really weird and out there. But it is possibly the most enjoyable way to open packs, you know, with a bunch of friends. So let's get into it. So the first thing you do, obviously, you've got your 3 packs on your table. I usually have about 8 friends to assist with the draft. And, well, oh, dear God. Well, that doesn't usually happen, so yeah, just ignore the ever after. Well, I guess that makes first pick easy. So, I am just going to sleeve that up, because if that gets damaged in any way, shape or form, because this isn't my box, these aren't my packs, and I will definitely be killed. So, here we go. How do I draft? Well, the first thing you do, after I move this light a bit further back, so it's not abusing the ever after. There we are. So the first thing you do is you open your pack and you look at your cards. And the idea here is to determine what the best first pick will be. Alright, so the first time you do this, it's going to be really, really difficult for you. It's going to be, my God, that is pretty. I just can't stop looking at it, it's gorgeous. Yeah, the first thing here to determine is what the best card in the pack is. So obviously, in this instance, this is the best first card in the pack. This is the first pick. But should we ignore that, which it's very hard to do. It's absolutely gorgeous. So the way we usually do it is by a method called BREAD, which stands for bombs, removal, evasion, attackers, and duds, or defenders, some people like to say. So basically, bombs are quite like this. A card which will, it's your win condition. It's going to change the state of the game. You play this and your opponent knows that it's a big deal to remove that. They remove that or they die, pretty much. So that's a bomb. Removal is a kill spell, a bounce spell, exile spell, something that gets rid of your opponent's creatures. Counter spells also fall into that bracket. What else? Evasion. Sorry. Evasion are like... again, the terms are kind of broad in the fact that evasion can be like flyers. Creatures with flying are evasive. They're difficult to deal with. So they're pretty good and highly valued. But they also tend to be overcosted for what they do. So It depends if you're in those colours. But things with evasion, in this set it would be like Skulk, Flying, things like that. Creatures that are hard to deal with. And then we have attackers. So attackers, creatures that are just going to get in there. They're just going to get in there for damage. They're basically good creatures that you just want to fill your deck out with. And D is duds. So basically, you'd be playing 23 spells, 17 land-ish. It can vary depending on the format, depending on if you're mono-coloured or dual-coloured or trip-coloured or whatever. Your land count goes up or down. But duds are basically your 23rd playable. They're that card that's kind of sitting around the corners of the draft pool and you're like, I don't really want to play it, but I kind of don't have anything else. So that's what that stands for. So ignoring this, because this is the obvious first pick of the pack. Next off, I tend to check the rare. So the first thing I would check is the rare, because although I wouldn't advocate rare drafting, which is where you just pick up every rare you see, because that's not going to win you the draft. You're going to get a load of sort of dud rares, but maybe even a good one or two. But it's not going to win you a draft. So this, it's a bomb, but it requires a lot of interaction to get it going. It's also 6 mana and doesn't really do much. So I could see an argument for taking this first, but overall, we're probably going to ignore it. Fixings, so this is referred to as fixing because it allows you to fix your mana base. So if you're in these two colours, it's a good idea to pick this early so someone else doesn't get it. And it allows you to maybe splash a colour and be still reasonably sure you'll get it. So this isn't a bad early pick, but you wouldn't first pick it first pack. Magnifying Glass is just not good. Nahiri's Machinations, not the sort of thing I'd first pick. These basically just don't do enough. They're not good enough to be first picked. Neglected Heirloom is actually very good. If considering that there is a flip card in every single pack, you have a strong possibility of being able to play this on turn 1. And if you draft a deck filled with flip cards, you'll be able to flip this. And once it's flipped, it doesn't turn back, unless it gets bounced direct, if it's exiled and then comes back sort of thing. But that's the least of your worries. Like for 3 mana afterwards, this gives +3/3 and first strike. This is a big deal, and it's something that most draft decks just can't interact with. So that's worth considering. Root Out is not what you want to be first picking. Senseless Rage also not what you want to be first picking. Again, they just don't do enough. Root Out is a sideboard card. Destroying artifacts or enchantments is not especially relevant. I guess it can get rid of the Neglected Heirloom, but it's not something you'd want to pick early on for that sole reason. It's something that if you picked it up late and you're in green, okay, cool, good. If you didn't pick one up, you wouldn't really be too bothered. Enchantments, really you don't want to pick them up very highly because you're wasting 2 spells on one creature. So you're wasting an extra spell on a creature. Yes, you might buff it. Yes, this might win you the game occasionally, but if that creature gets killed, you've lost 2 cards in your deck for 1 card of theirs most likely. So it's too big of a gamble. Now I have Watcher in the Web. This card is very, very good. It's a 5-drop 2/5, which doesn't sound good, but it's got reach, and it can block an additional 7 creatures each combat. So it can block 8 creatures. This thing just sits there and eats tokens all day. It can also just mess with their big swing, because instead of attacking, they're going, well, you're just going to block everything with Watcher in the Web. And you're sat there going, yeah, I definitely will do that. So this guy's good. Maybe not first pickable, but he's good. Silent Observer is terrible. A 1/5 anything is not excellent, and the fact that it's a 4-drop is just terrible. Chaplain's Blessing, 1 mana to gain 5 life is awful. You just don't want to be gaining life. Incidental lifelink. So lifelink on a card that is already well costed, that's good because you're not paying anything extra for that. Having cards that just gain you life, all it does is prolong the game. It's not winning you the game, it's prolonging it, and that's not good. And also you've wasted a card. So Farbog Revenant, I actually just don't like it. It's a 1/3 with Skulk and lifelink. It's badly costed, and it doesn't really do anything, ever. So I wouldn't pick that either. Catalogue is good because if you have Madness, you can really easily enable Madness. You don't want to be doing a massive amount of draw in a draft deck, considering it's only 40 cards, so you can quite easily deck out. So I'd probably, again, it's not first pickable, but it's good. And Dauntless Cathar. I actually really like this card. It's aggressively costed. It's 3/2 for 3. That's perfectly fine. Most of the time it's going to probably trade down. But on the occasions where it trades up, you're very, very happy. And for 2 mana, next turn you can exile it from your graveyard and get a spirit. It replaces itself. This is 2 cards. This is 2 things for 3 mana. That's 4 power and 3 toughness over 2 bodies for 5 mana. That's so good. So I'd say these 2 are probably your decent first picks. So it's the Neglected Heirloom or the Dauntless Cathar. Obviously, if you don't first pick this, which you'd be silly not to. So that's the ridiculous pack 1. Hopefully, pack 2 will continue to be good. So obviously, once you've made your pick, so for example, you pick the Dauntless Cathar, you put it face down, you don't tell anybody, and you pass the pack to your left. Obviously, everybody passes their pack round, so you'll get another pack from this side. You'll look at it again, you'll go, Neglected Heirloom, I'll take that. Obviously, I mean, the flip card you can see, but still. Pass it round, you get past it again, and this, so on and so forth until all the cards are gone. That's when you move over to pack 2. So everybody keeps passing round until all the cards have been picked. I'm just going to put that there because that is gorgeous. So, pack 2. So you've got a Human Cleric. Oh wow, another foil, but it might be on reason this time. And another Mythic. Dear God. So we have Gold Knight Castigator this time. So I think this will be my first pick again, because it is very good. Also, it goes really well with our first pick in pack 1. But there we have it. So I'll set that aside because that's, again, the obvious first pick. So here we are. Apologies for the cut there. The camera died while I was filming. So here we are, pack 2 again. We start off with Unruly Mob. Not a bad card if you draft the Humans deck. Honestly, a lot of you guys are going to die, so this thing can get quite out of control quickly. I quite like it. It's got a relevant subtype. It's not first pickable, but it's not bad. Obviously the first pick is Gold Knight Castigator. Niblis of Dusk, again. This fits into Evasion, of course. It's flying and prowess. It's also a very good attacker. It's just good all around. I would consider taking that as well. Vessel of Malignity, not super excited by seeing. It doesn't really do much. So definitely not going to pick that up. Vessel of Ephemera, on the other hand. It's 5 mana to get 2 or 1/1 white spirits with flying. Seems bad, but when it's incremental, turn 2 you play this, turn 3 you can either crack it or wait. Very, very good. I've won a game solely off this, being able to block a Morkrut Necropod. So I would definitely take that. Nagging Thoughts, draw, yeah. Also can be Madness, yep, very good. Not first pickable, but still very good. Not a bad pack, this one, actually. Lone Dryad, again, I don't really like it. I completely pass on that. Magmatic Chasm doesn't really do anything. It looks good, but looks can be deceiving, and in this case, they are. Rabid Bite is not bad. Again, you wouldn't first pick it. It is removal. You get to just kill a creature. So again, that's a good pick. Then we have our flip card, Thraben Gargoyle. It's a 1-drop 2/2 defender. Yeah, it's not bad. And 6 to transform it into a 4/2 flyer. It's okay. I'm not super excited about picking this early on, but it's okay, basically. Next up we have Call the Bloodline. I am always happy to see this card in the uncommon slot. It's a 2-drop enchantment, and you can pay 1 to discard a card and put a 1/1 Black Vampire Knight with lifelink onto the battlefield. You can only activate it once each turn. So that means once on your turn, once on your opponent's turn. It's great. Completely just enables madness. If you draft the red-black vampires deck, that is such a good addition. Especially if you pick up any of the rare vampires. So next up we have Ongoing Investigation. Blue-green Clues is a deck. I just don't like drafting it. I'm not super happy to see that. Stone Quarry again. We've talked about this. Good fixing. And our foil might Beyond Reason. Again, not super excited. So obviously the first pick is Gold Knight Castigator. If it wasn't that, it's between Vessel of Ephemera and Call the Bloodline. But considering our first pick in the last pack was Arlincord, well, we'd obviously take the Gold Knight Castigator. If it was the flip equipment, which the name eludes me right now, Forgotten Heirloom, I think, something like that. Forgotten Heirloom, something like that. We'd probably take this. It's a flip card that costs 1, and if you equip that up, it becomes like a 7/5 flyer. That's not something to be trifled with. So it's not bad. So that'll be our pack pick 2. Pack 2. Sorry. So there you have it. And again, this time we take the card face down. We pass to the right this time. So it goes left, right, left when you're passing. So changes with the pack, but it's always that order. So there we have pack 2, which is, yeah, not bad. More than happy to see that. Now we move on to pack 3. And I'm going to have to hurry because this battery's about to die as well. Zombie, that. Our rare is Traverse the Ulvenwald. Not bad with Arlincord. And the Gold Knight Castigator. Because the Gold Knight Castigator is double red, if we cast this turn 1, we could quite easily hit it. So I am more than happy to see that and take it. What else have we got? Tormenting Voice, I'm more than happy to take. Our flip card is Solitary Hunter. It's fine. Open the Armory is not especially good. It's good for EDH, but not so good for draft. Groundskeeper's fine. Dance with Devils is pretty good, I think. Crow of Dark Tidings, I've had quite a lot of success with it, so I like this guy. Again, I think we're just taking the Traverse here. Second pick is probably the Tormenting Voice or the Solitary Hunter. And I hope that the Heirloom wheels. So there we go. That is a basic introduction of how to draft. It's fairly simple. Once you've passed back and forth and all the picks have been taken, you should end up with a stack of cards. You make a 43 card deck out of those. So typically it's 23 creatures, spells, etc. You know, all the sort of meat of the deck. 17 lands traditionally, but again, as I say, if you're monocolored, you might want less. If you're double, triple colored, you'll want a hell of a lot more. If you're quin colored, you've done it wrong most of the time. So there's that. Trying to think if there's anything I've missed. You build a deck and you will play against different people in your pod, because you're obviously separated into a group of 8 people when you draft. And you play off against those, and it's typical Swiss. You get pointed, and eventually you'll go up or down depending on your standings. So there we are. That is a basic introduction to drafting. Eventually I'm hoping to do an actual draft video where we draft around the table, and it's going to be epic. I love drafting, and I hope you will too. Until then, I'm considering doing drafts on MitGo, Magic Online for those not in the know. So yeah, that's coming up in the near future. So don't forget, thumbs up button if you liked it. Subscribe is always helpful.